Speaking of shooting the you-know-what, we're wrestling fans here, and WWE
we are.
is in quite an interesting time. And perhaps the most interesting part that I feel comfortable talking about on the show is what's going on with the Cody Rhodes story and The Rock, not Dwayne Cena, which he's been for the past 12 years, but The Rock, the actual Rock, coming back, being heel, and in my opinion, cutting an amazing promo this past Friday on SmackDown. I mean, he even brought back the $500 shirt as a Versace vest to kind of like play on 1999 Attitude Era corporate Rock mixed with Hollywood Rock from 2003, who would wear the vest, right? And the promo, just the way he was able to just like jab at the crowd was something we haven't seen from him, honestly, in 25 years. And I think, personally, it's his best work in WWE in the past 2 decades. Because it's interesting too that, you know, all the captions that WWE is putting out on social media, this is not the Rock we remember. It is exactly.
Yes, it is 100%.
It's not Dwayne Cena that we remember, you know, the Terramana sipping, Under Armour wearing, Zoa drinking, product placing, people's champ Dwayne Cena. It's the Rock. And that's what we need. And it's amazing.
Yep.
And it's advancing this story forward. The only thing I think it's doing that's negative is it is totally turning Roman Reigns into Scottie Pippen. Roman Reigns is the clear
for now. But for now, once Rock leaves, he'll be back.
Well, I think by the time Rock leaves, Roman Reigns isn't going to be the champion anymore.
I disagree.
Really? Okay, let's hear this.
Okay, so I apologize to those listeners who are not wrestling fans because I might go deep. It's been well documented on the show how much I hate Cody Rhodes. That's number one.
Which I didn't think you did, because you were Mr.
I did.
You were Mr. AEW forever.
And I hated Cody in AEW, and I hate Cody now. Cody Rhodes and Nia Jax. I have a severe hatred for them. If I saw them in person, I would probably get arrested. No, I'm kidding. But I think Cody... No, I'm joking. That was a joke. Cody Rhodes, to me, is entitled little bitch who thinks he can just show up wherever he wants when he doesn't make enough money, get whatever he wants. And it proves that he did not win the belt at WrestleMania last year, that he's not going to get what he wants. I think by next year, mid-year, probably around this time, he'll be back mid-carding. And I say by the time his contract's up, he'll end up back at AEW. Now, that being said, hold on. Part of this is because I am going to WrestleMania this year, but I'm only going to night 2.
Oh.
And last year, we were dying for The Rock. It didn't happen. This year, I was so excited when The Rock came back, literally jumped out of my seat by myself on the couch, cheering. I was so excited that we were finally going to get Rock Roman. And now there's a good chance we will not get The Rock on night 2. He'll be there on night 1, and I will not be there on night 1. So I'm upset about that. I'm not convinced that him and, well, let me continue with this and then I'll go to that. But I don't want to see Rock, or I don't want to see Roman and Cody again. I also think that Hulk Hogan's record is shortly after WrestleMania. I think it's around Survivor Series, if I'm correct. I think they're going to have Roman keep the belt until then. I think they're going to have him surpass Hogan's title reign. He's never going to touch Bruno Sammartino, because what was that, like 20 years? But I think they're going to keep it on him past Hogan's reign. No pun intended. But I don't think they're going to take it off him. He's that close. Why would you have him do this for that long and talk about Hulk Hogan's streak a lot? They've been bringing it up a lot lately. And now when Roman comes out on SmackDown, they actually put on the screen how many days he's been champ. they're being too specific about this streak to take the belt away from him. I don't think it's going to happen.
I have a possible rebuttal to that.
Okay.
Because they already swerved us by turning The Rock actually back into The Rock and turning him heel. They could be swerving you. And this is a Triple H run creative in WWE where anything is possible, right? So that could be kind of like that red herring of like, oh, he's going to break Hogan's streak and then boom, to make you think, because most of the audience wants Cody. Regardless of your thoughts on Cody.
Yes, 100. Yes, I agree.
Most of the audience wants Cody, so it's to plant that seed of, oh my God, is Cody actually going to do it this time? And then when he does, it's the most enormous pop to end WrestleMania 40. Now,
but I think at this point, more people think Cody's going to win than The Rock's going to surpass Hogan.
Then Roman's going to surpass Hogan.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. See, it's interesting to hear your take on Cody Rhodes because as somebody who hasn't always been the biggest Cody guy, I've really warmed up to him over the past year or so. And it's not because of finishing the story or, whatever. Like, it's because I see how he's shown up for the company. I see how he's been willing to be the ambassador, be the face. He gained a lot of points for me when he beat Seth Rollins with a broken freaking pec. Like, his pec was legitimately torn. He wrestled the entire match before having to go in and get it fixed, right? And he has done nothing but show up and be, the face of the company that I think every organization in the sport needs, right? Like that guy who's going to be the ambassador both on screen and off, right? He's done a great job. I think his promo work has been phenomenal. And I don't think he's entitled. I think what he did was he went out. He didn't like the hand he was being dealt with Stardust, which why would you, want to be a palette swap of your brother who was already like not being, treated as a real significant threat on the roster, right? Why would you want to be a palette swap of that character, right? When you could go out on the indies, prove yourself, prove what you always knew you could do, go out, start a company, and then, AEW starts going a different way, which look at AEW right now. Can you really blame the guy for leaving? He saw this coming.
But word on the street was he left because they bought in all these names and he wasn't making enough money.
He saw this coming. The guy saw this coming. Like, look at what AEW's become, saw it from a mile away, and he knew he could go back to WWE, and he knew he could command a higher paycheck, a higher spot on the card. He had gone out and proven himself as a star in the industry, and he did it. And you know what? The hat's off to the guy. I have a ton of respect for Cody Rhodes. And I haven't, that when AEW first started, I was the biggest Cody hater on earth, maybe next to you, apparently, even though I always thought you liked him.
No, I don't know why you thought that. I hate Cody.
Well, because you loved all things AEW. And I associated AEW with Cody because he literally founded the thing.
Right.
Like, I thought, at first, I thought this guy is just a huge mark for himself. But over time, I see that like he had to overcome this perception, that the industry had of him as a mid-carder, and the perception, the story that they gave him. And he went out, he proved that he was more, and now he's more. The guy's promos are excellent. His ring work's great. He's not afraid to make somebody look good, and he's out there toughing it out no matter the circumstance. And he's being a good ambassador on top of it. I had nothing bad to say about that guy. With that being said, I don't know what's going to happen at WrestleMania because they are planting that seed of Roman outlasting Hogan, and they're being pretty strategic about that. However, I could see it being that swerve. I could see it being that, oh, well, we've pumped this up. Roman's the unbeatable champion. He's got The Rock in his quarter. How is Cody going to overcome this? And then he does. And I will throw an extra wrinkle into this. Less than a week ago, Stone Cold Steve Austin was on ESPN saying, oh, I don't know when one more match is going to happen. It may, it may not. What if they bring Austin back to counteract The Rock? Because you think about this for WrestleMania as well. Seth Rollins has his own world title. It doesn't make sense for Seth Rollins, who is banged up to the nth degree, to wrestle 2 times at WrestleMania. He's going to.
Well, that being said, the press conference that they gave the match back to Cody at, they pretty much set up Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth. They never said that match was happening, but that's what it looked like. Now, Now the Elimination Chamber is to take on Seth for the title. So Seth isn't even in this picture anymore, which was a little weird to me also. I'm also not convinced that Seth is going to be cleared and this turns into a triple threat. I'm not 100% convinced that Rock is not going to get thrown into this match with them. I think something's going to happen at Elimination Chamber or before Mania, and either Roman's going to turn on The Rock or vice versa. I know they said a lot of things like when The Rock raised his finger, he went like this. You know, that's not the sign, it's this. I don't know. I don't read into those little things, but I'm also hoping, because I don't want to see Roman and Cody for the second time when I go to WrestleMania. So this is also a personal wish. You know, spend a lot of money on these tickets.
I could see it being a situation where Rock does exactly what he did with the Nation of Domination and becoming the new leader, at least in a short-term sense, because we all know he's eventually going to go back to Hollywood. He's not a full-timer at this point and never will be again, right?
But he's on the board, so...
Right, and with how some of his Hollywood projects have gone lately, he is keeping a lower profile on that end of the sphere to where he's going to be more involved going forward, sure. But I could see it being a situation where he pretty much usurps the bloodline just like he did the Nation of Domination from Farouk back in the day. You know, and another interesting wrinkle, something I noticed from that promo, maybe I'm reading way too much into this, he referred to the bloodline as a duo. And you could see behind him, Paul Heyman looking... Yes.
Oh, I missed that.
Rewatch the promo. And you could see Paul Heyman behind looking confused and a little surprised. You could see Jimmy Uso behind him looking angry when he said... And... You know, it would make sense if you want to keep Jimmy and now Solo relevant at all, that you'd have them raise some kind of mutiny, because right now, if Roman's the sidekick, what are Jimmy and Solo at this point?
Right.
They're nowhere. They're completely irrelevant. They're on the island of irrelevancy. So you've got to do something to keep, especially if you want to build Solo up as a threat for a world championship, you've got to have him do something.
Which I think they've been slow burning that for a while.
Yeah, but now it's like it's starting to overcook. Like you've got to have some kind of payoff there at some point soon. So what if the bloodline splits? And what if The Rock ends up taking over the bloodline from her? There's so many possibilities. Another possibility is if Seth's not cleared, right? Or if Seth can only go once at WrestleMania and drops the title to Drew and Drew takes him out after the match, then maybe you have this like, oh no, that was Cody's partner on night one. And then what if the glass shatters and Stone Cold comes back for WrestleMania 40 in a tag match?
On night one?
Stone Cold and Cody versus Rock and Roman. That is my bold prediction for WrestleMania. Let's see how wrong it is. Also, we'll see how wrong it is.
Now, let me ask you another question, which is related but unrelated. If CM Punk didn't get hurt, would The Rock be back?
Yeah. It's WrestleMania.
You think he would have been back regardless? Because it was supposed to be Punk, Seth, Roman, Cody. So you think he would have been back this deep?
Yeah, absolutely. Because he's on the board, number one. Number two, it's WrestleMania 40. And they're going to go as big as they can. They're going to go as big as they can for that round number. So I absolutely think he would have been back. I don't know. I think with Punk being out, it does change the landscape a little bit. But it also, like, you look at it this way, and as you know, I'm not a big fan of CM Punk, but...
Love CM Punk.
I know you do. Maybe that's who I was confusing Cody with. But here's the thing. You know, when Punk comes back, he's just going to be thrust into the title picture because he's CM Punk, because of the name value there, right? I love, and I never wish injury on somebody, even though I'm not the biggest fan of him. I hope CM Punk has a speedy recovery. I love that him not being available for WrestleMania gives Drew McIntyre a chance to show what he can do. Because I think Drew McIntyre is on the run of his career.
I agree.
I think he is fantastic in his current role, and he deserves a run. Especially considering, as a face, he carried the company through the pandemic as the champion.
Yeah.
Didn't get that crowd reaction, so now he gets to go in and be this monster douchebag heel who doesn't care what anyone thinks.
And I think the crowd will be fully behind him, too.
Yeah, he is phenomenal in that role. And I'm glad, if there's a silver lining to Punk's tricep injury, which, again, you never wish on anybody, it's that Drew McIntyre now has a chance to main event or be a prominent figure in WrestleMania 40, which I think is fantastic because, again, he's having the run of his life right now.
Yeah, I agree. And one more question.
R-Truth?
Not WrestleMania related. Well, R-Truth is brilliant.
Okay, I do want to say this,
but that wasn't my question.
Can I just say this about R-Truth though?
What?
At some point, even if I have a whole way that R-Truth should become a world champion, just to give him that one.
I do too.
And it's he wins Money in the Bank kind of by accident, like the briefcase falls on him.
Yep.
And then he cashes in by accident, like hands the briefcase to the ref, right? Like, hey, hold this for me, dog. And then all of a sudden he cashed in and he rolls up whoever the champion is, could be Drew, whatever, for the 3, thinks he wins the 24/7 title back, kicks his heels, run to the back, and then the next week he just gets absolutely destroyed. But then he had his world title reign. That's how you make a world champion. Boom.
I think he should somehow fight Damian Priest for the briefcase, win the briefcase, and win at WrestleMania. That would be a swerve of the century. R-Truth winning the title at WrestleMania. Cody wins it, and then R-Truth comes out and wins it for man.
Because R-Truth thinks he's got the 24/7 title, and he's like, I got
right.
Yes, R-Truth.
No, but my question is, did you read that Mick Foley wants one final death match against RVD?
I did.
RVD said yes.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's going to be WrestleMania weekend because it is in Philly.
Well, Mick Foley
on the Indies.
I saw on social media that Mick Foley's actually like on a weight loss journey right now. He's trying to get down from 360 to 275. So I don't know if he'd be ready for this year.
All right.
But for next.
But I don't know why he needs another death match. That's just a death wish. Like you might see somebody die live.
Yeah, I don't think it should be a death match personally. I think he should just come do the Mankind thing and, right off into the sunset. Give him his one more match, but there's no need for that kind of violence for a man who's beaten himself up that much.
No, and he'll go all out.
And RVD will, because RVD is just, insane like that. But anyway, I did see that. JD, well, thank you for waiting patiently with us.
All I'll say is I am awake. All I'll say is I love Cody, and he's going to finish the story.
Adrenaline in the soul. We are marks for Cody Rhodes.
That is.
Whoa.
Yeah, but when AEW was founded, though, you loved him then, didn't you? Yeah, you did.
We did not.
We all know.
The only time I liked him was I thought it was cool when he smashed Triple H's throne with a sledgehammer. But other than that.
We all know that you have his terrible neck tattoo emblazoned on your bosom.
I don't.
That's the one thing that I can't.
No.
It's a terrible neck tattoo.
You got it mixed up. It's me. It's me.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. I have it, and it's not my bosom. It's on my ass.